What up? This is Robert Ory.
Ory, three-pointer. Buries it.
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Ory for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Ory from downtown.
Well, what do Robert Ory and Anthony Edwards have in common? The top of this week's show. They both missed the tip of the game because they were taking a boo-boo. Ant-Man missed the tip last night because he was taking a boo-boo.
Is that the word?
Actually, no, I don't know if that's the word, but that's the rumor. The rumor is he was taking a boo-boo last night. Anthony is saying he lost track of time right before the tip of last night's game, which for me is a little hard to believe. How do you lose track of time? You've been there all day.
Exactly.
Like, how early do you get there before tip?
I get there. You got to think about it. 2 hours before a game. You get there 2 hours before a game.
So a 7:30 game, you're rolling in 5:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, how do you miss the tip though? Because you do all your routines, you warm up, you stretch, you do your rehab, you get ready, you do your prep before a game. I'm like, how do you miss the tip, man?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. He was at the scorer's table when they tipped off last night, sitting there like, "Yo, I'm sorry, I forgot." So I don't know. Maybe he's got the.
I'm going with your theory. I think he was back there taking care of business.
Look, man, there ain't no shame in it.
No, we all have to do it.
I tell Rob, you want to hop on a few minutes early? He's on busy. He just texted me back a toilet emoji. I was like, thanks, man. That's what I needed to start my day. That's what I needed to start my day. We do have a guest joining us. He's going to come on here in a second. Oh, he's coming on now, actually. And there he is.
I didn't want to step on an intro.
No, you're good, man. What's up, Clayton?
Hey, guys. How's it going? Good to see y'all.
What's going on, man?
Clayton, man.
Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
I want to start off by saying, Clayton, I'm mad at you, man.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I when I saw the video, I sent you a message and crickets. I'm like, are you that busy, man? You can't. When a brother says,
Where'd you send it on? What'd you send it on?
On your IG.
Oh, really? Oh, my God.
Oh,
no.
My friends are going to laugh at me so bad. They send me stuff that I don't check on Instagram. They're like, dude, you missed Robert Ory sending you a message?
Yeah.
You got to start checking this more, man.
Yeah. You can't check it now because, IG's down, apparently. So.
Okay, well, that'll save me.
Everything's down. Yeah, Facebook's down, IG's down, everything's down.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, Rob, that you were mad at me because I know Rob told me you showed your mom. I saw the beginning of the pod where you said you sent it to your mom.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, Abby, that's super sweet, but I know that I cursed a couple of times and I used some naughty language. And my mom had a problem with it. And so I was just like, oh my God, I hope Robert Ory's mom didn't get offended by my naughty language.
No.
So I was like, I'll apologize to both of our moms.
My mom's favorite word of all time is shit. So no, you good, man. But,
Cool.
But to start off, man, my wife showed me the video. And, usually when you see a video, it's maybe 30 seconds, a minute, and after I saw it, I was like, damn, this dude did a deep dive. And I think everybody in my life I shared it with, man. So I just want to say thank you for the comments. Thank you for taking the time to make the video, man, because it was something special. And I don't give a lot of credit to a lot of people, but you did some history, man. You did some history. So thank you very much for the acknowledgement.
Thank you, man. Absolutely. It's I've been doing this for a couple of years, and I'm not kidding. The guy that I've probably spent the most time talking to my friends about, I mean, my buddies are all basketball dorks, but the guy we probably spent the most time talking about is you.
Wow.
I mean, we would be I remember one of my buddies and I were at the pool one day last summer, just hanging out, having some drinks. It's a sunny day. And we start talking about basketball, and we're talking about, whatever. And we start talking about you and your shots and your career and stuff. And I mean, the sun is down, people are gone, and we've been drinking all day, and we're screaming across the pool at each other about your career. So, no, man, it's been something I've been wanting to do for a long time, is to talk about you. And it took me a while. I had a lot of fun with it. It was something that I did it for me. I did it because I wanted to do it, because I thought that, your career is so special and deserved to be told a certain way. And I just felt like if somebody was going to do it, I wanted it to be me.
Thanks.
You did him justice.
I know. Yeah.
Let me say, too, when we started this podcast, the very first conversation that we had, Rob and I had, was, I guess we'll just call the show Big Shot Bob, right? We'll just, because, that's, the nickname is very famous. It was Big Shot Bob. And
Yes.
and you go to me, you're like, well, you know, I really kind of prefer Big Shot Rob because no one ever called me Bob. And I was like, cool, Big Shot Bob. like I completely, you took more care and credit to that than I ever did. We've been doing the show for 3 years.
You're absolutely right. The first thing I had written down, I was like, okay, I have to ask Robert if he prefers to be called Rob or Bob, because I put Rob in the video and I tried to, you know, keep it to Big Shot Rob. And I'm pretty partial to Big Shot Bob myself, but I found tons of, you know, I know that that's what you prefer to be called is Rob. Dude, all my comments are just like, how do you not call him Big Shot Bob? And I'm like, no, I'm right.
Yeah,
you guys are wrong.
You're right.
You know why you're right? Because my mom prefers Rob.
There you go.
So if you agree with my mom, you good with me. But you know, for me, I don't really care.
Yeah.
You know, because it's weird because when someone talks to me, they say, "What's up, Big Shot?" They never say Bob or Rob. They say Big Shot. You know,
Right.
so it's nobody. I don't really care what you say, Rob or Bob.
Yeah. Was it true that Tim Duncan used to call you Bob and like Bobby because he knew that it would like, yeah, Bobby, it just to like bust your balls.
He know I hated being called. Like, you can call me Bob, but don't call me Bobby. And I don't know how the hell he found that out.
Yeah.
He just started calling me Bobby. I'm like, oh, come on, man. All right, Timmy. All right, so
I read that and I was just like, that is such a Tim Duncan thing where it's like, you would never guess that he would be the guy to like bust somebody's balls like that. But then to read it and find out, you're like, yeah, that checks out.
You know, this is a funny thing. A lot of people don't notice about Tim because he's such an asshole, but he is a funny dude, man. He's a funny dude. If he lets you into his world, though, that's the problem. You got to get into his world because if you're on the outside looking in, he's an asshole. But if you inside, nicest guy, funny guy, you know. So yeah, big ups to Timmy D.
By the way,
great.
for people that don't know, Clayton is responsible for the video that's on YouTube, the best role player in NBA history about Rob's career. It's about 20 minutes. And you know, we're talking about our moms. I'll throw you the story about my mom, who, when we started this podcast for the first year we did it, called you Robert Horry because she was unfamiliar with your NBA career. Now, when I say like Big Shot Bob, or she knows that, she's heard that, so she's like, oh, okay. But she would just always say Robert Horry. So I sent it to her. And I was like, if you don't know anything about this guy I've been doing the show with, watch this. Like, here's a and by the way, forward this to the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame also, because they should watch this video as well. And she actually got a little bit of an education about Rob's career. She's like, oh, he did a lot of things. And I'm like, yes, he sure did, Ma. He sure did. Welcome to sports. This is how we do.
He did a little bit.
He did a few things.
Just a smidgen.
That's kind of the idea of making this. I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and I've made videos about a lot of guys. And you know, the coolest thing is to make videos about guys that like. I'm a dork. I go all the way back to like the 50s, 60s, all that stuff. But guys that have a story that feels like should be told. That like, I try to do it like, hey, here's a guy you should know about: Pistol Pete, Oscar Robertson, obviously Rob. Bill Walton. I mean, those are just like the guys that like I feel like not a lot of people know that I get into. And then obviously all the other, you know, big guys. But yeah, the fact that it was just kind of like, here's a diet education on this guy. And that's why it was so fun to do you, Rob, is because it's like, I mean, doing the notes, it was just like, all right, that shot and then that shot and then that shot. And then I found out about shots that I'm just like, oh my God, nobody talked about the Sonic shot when you were a rookie.
Yeah, I know. I talk about it sometimes, and it's funny that you brought that up. But how is there someone in your family, or you just grew up a hoopaholic? Did you just grow up loving hoops? Did you play?
No.
Tell us a little bit about your basketball career.
Sure, yeah. My basketball career, we're done. We're done talking about it.
And that was that.
Yeah, period. End of sentence. Nah, man, I didn't even grow up that big of a sports fan. It hit me in like high school when I was like 16. A buddy showed me an NBA playoff series with like LeBron was on the Heat, the Pacers were playing. I just got super into that series, and I don't know. It just like it got me. It was one of those things where like I didn't choose it; it chose me. And after that, it was just like an obsession where it's like I didn't just want to watch it. I wanted to know about it, and I wanted to know the guys and the figures and just kind of like this mythology around it, and like Russell and Chamberlain and, you know, Bird and Magic and all these guys. I just was obsessed about it. And so, it was something that jumped out at me, that picked me. And then I went to college for it after high school, after I got into it. And I actually went to Clemson, where I covered the football team, where I was able to see them win 2 national championships against Oh, who? It was Alabama. That's
Alabama.
right. Yeah.
I know what you
Rob's look. Dabo is Rob's best friend. So this is.
I love Dabo, man.
Yeah.
Dabo and went to college together. We used to play Tecmo Bowl together almost every weekend together. Yes.
Oh my God, that's so cool. But yeah, I got to go to Clemson, did that, got out of college, went and did radio here in Charleston, and pandemic hit. I was like, I'll throw some YouTube videos together, and they just started working. And so it's just something that has grown over time. It was something I thought I could just fill my time with. It was always something that I wanted to do, but I don't know, it just kept working, so I kept doing it.
So you're in Charleston, South Carolina?
That's right. Yeah.
You do know I'm from my family's from Mount Pleasant.
That's right. I was about to say Mount Pleasant. Yeah, my parents are in Mount Pleasant right now.
Oh, seriously? That shows you how small this world is, man. Mount Pleasant. I grew up every summer going to Mount Pleasant, hanging out, going crabbing, going fishing, and just
go out Isle of Palms on the beach.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was reading about it, and I know that did your dad retire to South Carolina and all that? And I was just like, oh my God, it's literally like seeing your town in the newspaper. You're like, oh my God, that's us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a dated reference. There's a dated
What's
reference.
That?
The newspaper reference.
I know it, right? Yeah.
We don't see anything in the newspaper anymore. We don't have any reason to. So is the YouTube thing like your gig now? Is that what you do?
Yeah, I've been doing it for about 4 years, since the pandemic. I hit 100,000 subscribers maybe a couple months ago. And I just it was like last year was a little bit tougher. It didn't quite have it. There was other stuff going on. And then the last couple months, I've just kind of doubled down on it, and it's been great. I've gotten to do some stuff with Bleacher Report. They reached out, so I've been doing some stuff with them. The videos have been doing great. Rob's video popped off, and I'm having fun with it. It's just something where it's just like I got back in, I was doing it. I got back into it, really started doubling down on it, and it's been awesome. Last couple of months have been awesome. This is all still just like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Now, I still can't believe it worked.
Now, is this something that you're just wanting to continue to do? I guess if you move forward, is this, you're content with this, or is there an end goal that this is leading to? How do you see this?
Yeah, it's a good question. And it's like, there's an end goal, I think, to do it more professionally with more resources with somebody, with a company or something like that. But I don't have a real strong idea of what that looks like, mostly because this stuff just changes so much. So it's like, I don't want to lock in on one thing and not be able to adjust if something changes. But yeah, that's certainly, there's some kind of end goal in sight. I don't want to be a 40-year-old YouTuber, but
I feel like that was pointed at me, and I don't know how I feel about it.
No, this is a 40-year-old podcast.
But I'm
This is a 40-year-old podcast host that goes on YouTube. Okay, I don't want to be sitting here just like, what's up, guys?
I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of 40-year-old podcasts who are doing really good. So it's really good.
That was not pointed at me. Okay, I see how this is going to go.
Yeah, well, I don't know an NBA player, so I'm going to have to carve it out myself.
Yeah, we're lucky. We're a little bit fell ass backwards into this little combination here with all of us.
Yeah, so it's just kind of one of those things where I'm just keep plugging away. I keep kind of trying to keep my options open, keep my ears out, try to talk to people and just learn about it. But for the most part, it's just literally what I'm doing now. Me in my bedroom, just looking up, 20-year-old game tape, which is about the best way I can spend my day.
Oh, nice.
That's sex appeal right there.
Yeah, any ladies out there, I am single.
If you're up for it, hang out for a little bit.
Sure.
If you've listened to the show, we just shoot the shit about the NBA. We talk a lot of basketball. We goof off. We get into tons of rant, and we're gonna play. If you're up for it, now you're a Southern kid, so I mean, come on. We're gonna play Walmart or Waffle House this week. At the end of every show, I try to bring a game to the table. One of the more popular games we played on this show is called Walmart or Waffle House. I give you a batshit crazy story. You just have to tell me if it happened at a Walmart or if it happened at a Waffle House. So
I think I will bat 1,000. I'm very confident going into this.
Right? Yeah, I mean, look, we're here in Atlanta. Rob's from the dirty South, so, everybody does pretty well this game. So if you want to hang out.
I've seen a Waffle House once or twice.
Yeah, I would imagine so, being in South Carolina. You've tripped across a few. Did we want to mention now, I know, Clayton, you've got a series of videos on your channel called Making the Case. Did anybody ever think that we would see the 40,000 point mark eclipsed by an NBA player? Because that's what LeBron got to do. I'm going to play the audio real quick. This is LeBron eclipsing the 40,000 mark.
James against Porter. Drive, spins, gets inside. It's looks good. It's 40,000 for LeBron James, the NBA's all-time leading scorer, with another milestone as the legend of LeBron continues to grow.
I do like the milestone. Well, he laid into that one a little bit, but I that's one of those things I didn't think we'd ever see eclipsed. I mean, I think the conversation for the longest time was I don't know if we'd ever see Kareem's record eclipsed, but yet here we are. Do you think anybody even has a shot to give that that a run?
I don't. I mean, I think I said something when LeBron passed the mark that it's like it took arguably the greatest basketball player of all time 20 solid years of consistent, like 25-point a game production to beat Kareem's 40-year-old record. And he's still going. Like, he's not like trailing off and there's his last 2 points and then he's calling it quit. Like, he's going to put that thing so far out of reach that I don't think anybody's going to touch it in our lifetime. And I mean, I think I saw something the other day that it's like if Kyrie Irving hadn't missed a shot in his career, he'd have like 32,000 points. Like, wow. Kyrie Irving at this point could never have missed a shot. He's not even sniffing that record. So I think I'll be an old man if that thing ever gets touched.
Yeah, they talked about speaking of ages, they kind of predict, they looked at, how many points Luka would have to average per game and the year that he could possibly, and this is all contingent upon guys not missing any games.
Right, that's health. Health is a huge thing.
There's so many caveats to a lot of the, Wemby. They talk about if he continues and averages this many points.
Don't bring him into this conversation. He's like 10 years old.
But that's fine. But the way that he's playing and his trajectory, they're going to bring him into this. They said by year 2046 or 2047, if he averages this many points and stays healthy, he could. So you're throwing so many factors into this thing that it almost looks like it's unreachable. But at the same time, we thought that about Kareem's record. We thought nobody would hit over 38,000 points, and here we are seeing LeBron is hitting 40. We may not see it in Rob, y'all ain't gonna see it in y'all lifetime. But
oh wow.
I don't think I'm gonna see it in mine. None of us may see it in our own respective lifetimes. I'm not saying that it won't ever happen. I just don't think we'll see it in our lifetimes.
The crazy part about it now is the way they're shooting threes, the way the game is played. Adam talked about, he might, tweak the system where the defense is, is relied on a little bit, not just by the offensive game. But, for me, excuse me, I look at, the longevity LeBron had, playing all these years, not getting hurt. But I still think Kareem's record is still a little bit more special because he didn't shoot threes. And he didn't have the tech. All he had was ice and ice to stay healthy. And so Kareem, there's no disrespect to LeBron, but think about it. That's a lot of damn points with twos for Kareem. And LeBron's hitting threes, but I think LeBron's going to get 50,000, though. I really do. Because if you look at the way his body's built and you talk about women, his frame ain't going to hold up. You talk about Luka. Luka doesn't prepare and stay in shape like LeBron. So I think LeBron will play about 4 or 5 more years. I think he'll hit the 50,000 mark.
You don't see Wemby putting on any more? No more?
He's 7'3",
5.
And he's thin. No, his body can't take the grind of the NBA. He's not gonna play more. I don't think Wemby will play more than 11 years, man. 11 to 12 years. That's it. Yeah. Okay.
We gotta get him down there in New Orleans with Zion, fatten him up a little bit. Get him on the.
It is one of my favorite things, having done all this research. Rob is so unafraid to say the most batshit crazy things I've ever heard.
Well, that's why we wrapped a podcast around him.
I love it.
11 seasons, huh?
Hey, man, look at his frame, man.
Wait.
He's too skinny, man. I know you're going to look at Kevin Durant. Look at all the injuries Kevin Durant's had.
Yeah, but Kevin Durant has also had are we talking about holding up as far as passing LeBron's? We're talking about just from passing LeBron's record, right? Or we're talking about having a Hall of Fame career?
No, I'm just talking about holding up, period. Like, the longevity. And, he's not going to play that many seasons because his body, his frame, he's too tall. His body's not going to hold up. You watch, I'm telling you.
But he can put some weight on. I hope that
he can put some weight on, but it's not going to help him.
He's got the.
But Giannis did it, right? Like Giannis was thin as a rail. He came in and I don't think Wemby's ever going to be as jacked as Giannis, but that's like as good as you could ever hope. But
Giannis just got you can't be as jacked as Giannis.
But
not at that size.
When you build a basketball player on 2K, it looks like LeBron. And don't look like anybody else in the league. He looks just like LeBron. Unless you're a little short guy and you hate tall people. Every guy who builds a character on
Why do I feel like so
LeBron.
much of today's show is throwing at me? I don't know how I feel about any
look
of
at
this
you. Look at you and your guilty conscience.
God bless. I did want to mention one other thing, too, before we like Caitlyn Clark. We talked about this, I think it was last week or the week before. Mm-hmm. I thought we all thought she was going to go for another season in college, just from the NIL money perspective. Yeah. But she breaks the record. Speaking of records being broken, she breaks the all-time NCAA scoring record, D1 scoring record. She passes Pistol Pete. Amazing accomplishment. I mean, Nike had the commercial ready to fire right out of the commercial break. But I was very surprised that she declared. I thought for sure we'd get another year out of her in college.
I thought so too. But I really said that billboard, I don't know where it is, but she's on one building and the basket's way over there. Mm-hmm. That's like the coolest little image too. But for me, I was having this conversation with Allie last night, and Allie was like, she should leave school. And I'm like, it's not like it's the NBA. If you really think about it, I think there's a bigger spotlight on college basketball, women's college basketball, than it is the WNBA. Yeah. And I think for me, I would stay in that spotlight one more year, because with this record and the way you can put that record so out of reach, because we know Juju is coming if she stays, that you can get so much money from NIL and car deals, and it's better travel for you, because the WNBA, the travel it's kind of crazy. So, and there's less stress on your body. So stay one more year in college and put that record so far out of reach that nobody could ever beat it.
Yeah. Let me give you the numbers real quick. WNBA average salary for a first-round draft pick in the WNBA is anywhere from $62,000 to $78,000 a year. For reference, Erica Wheeler is currently the highest-paid player in the WNBA for the Indiana Fever, making about $242,000 a year base salary.
Jesus.
Compared to the NIL money, this season alone, Caitlyn Clark is going to clear $910,000 in NIL money this season, carrying deals with Gatorade, State Farm, Nike, Buick, Topps, and H&R Block. Now, she will probably carry some of that to the WNBA. I'd imagine some of that branding will carry over. But like you said, Rob, a lot of that stuff is attached to college sports. Exactly. Those are companies that lean in on the college because they lean in on the school and all that stuff, the passion, everything that you play for in college ball, and kind of what NIL was designed to do, which was to get them back a little something. So, I mean, good for her. I'm happy she's moving on. I mean, obviously that's what she wants to do, and I think all of us just said whatever makes her happy. But that's a lot of money to leave on the table, man. That's a lot.
What about you, Clayton? What would you do, Clayton?
I'd keep the $1 million. I'd stay in college and keep the $1 million. I got to say, college was kind of fun. I'd stay there. But no, I wonder, I think you make a great point, Rob, that, her spotlight in college right now is as bright as it probably will ever be. But I wonder if the people who are in the WNBA that are invested in making that league as successful as it can possibly be will emphasize Caitlyn Clark. And if she can, hold that up. That's kind of the thing that it seems like the weight is on her shoulders. It's like, can you bring this sport up to par with like college basketball? Like, can you put the WNBA on the map as like a legit women's league? Caitlyn Clark, certainly in my lifetime, is the most famous, most popular female basketball player that I've ever seen. And like, if somebody could do it, she could probably be the one to do it. Now, I just wonder if the WNBA is going to emphasize that and try to put all their chips on the Caitlyn Clark table. And if she can, if she can cash in on it.
Here's the thing. And I understand that obviously with her breaking the record, her celebrity and everything is through the roof. But there have been so many, talented women that come through, women's college basketball throughout the years and have gone on to have very successful WNBA careers, and they really never put a backing behind them. Like Maya Moore is one of the greatest one of the greatest, not only college basketball players of all time, but WNBA players of all time, one of the greatest players of all time in general. And I feel as though she's so underrated. Now, obviously she left to go do what she felt as though was better things. So she left the league. But if you look at her career, 4-time WNBA champ, won a league MVP. She won a couple of titles at UConn. she was, when you looked at her game, you know how you look at college and you see people who in the men's league who are saying that guy's game is NBA ready? Her game was pro ready when you looked at her in college. Like, you knew that she was going to be a pro. And I think there were just so many of those women who have come out that the WNBA could have really rallied behind, and they didn't. And I think what happens is sometimes you lose a little bit of luster when you get to the league because the storyline dies. Whereas in college, you have that built-in fan base behind you, that cult following behind you, and college is all about what? Stories. They always want to,
especially in March. Good,
yes,
God bless.
It's a story. Eventually, sometimes when you move to the next level, people remember who you are, but a little bit of the story dies. The little bit, so when that story dies, it's kind of like the luster a little bit. And that's not fair. It's nothing against her, but that's sometimes just the way that it happens, and we've seen it plenty of times before.
And for me, I would have made. Everybody say you need to make that judgment now. I've been like, yo, I'm gonna wait. If we win a national championship, I'm out, But for me, that would depend. If I'm her, I'm waiting. But, she can always say, no, I'm staying in school. She still got that option. But for me, I would love to know what her camp is telling her and what the WNBA is telling her and what her potential, her brand is going to bring to the WNBA, what her brand is going to bring herself. Is she still going to make 210? Because, State Farm and all these other ones she has backing her. It's totally different when you're in college, man, because they want to give you money when you're in college.
In college,
like
B said, you're the spotlight in college.
Yeah.
You're the story. So, of course, all that NIL money's flowing to her. Once you get to the WNBA, are you the story?
Now, here's some numbers. Obviously, we talked about the women's college basketball being bigger than the WNBA, but we all probably already know that it's been slightly bigger than men's college basketball as well. So the numbers came in, and it was said they're averaging a little bit more audience than men's college basketball on Fox. 981K viewers versus 946K viewers for the men's basketball league. So women's is up 48% on Fox, and it's up 60% across all networks. I mean, Caitlyn Clark effect, Angel Reese effect. Now you got the Juju effect. All of these things are in effect over these last few seasons.
And
that's
the
the
SC
reason.
effect. Don't leave out South Carolina.
Oh, South Carolina, absolutely. Them back-to-back undefeated seasons.
Out South Carolina.
Clay's not sold.
I'll forget about him.
Ain't sold.
Nah, but women's college basketball is rolling right now.
Yes.
And that's because they have more stars in their league than college. The men's college basketball, it's had so much parity, and you don't have guys stay long enough. Most of the guys are one and done. So you don't have a lot of stars coming in unless they're a one and done type of guy. They're not there long enough to where you can build enough storyline and build that up. It's not like it used to be. Guys are there for a second. I want to find the quickest way I can get to the league and get to the bag.
Because you think about it, if you say college basketball right now, the first name comes to mind is Clayton. Clark. And it's like nobody. It's that for me. If you think about, if you say who's the number one player in men's college basketball right now, there's no storyline over there because the guys don't stay long.
The biggest storyline was Filipowski getting run over by the crowd. That's the only standout story we've had.
Court storming and whether they should keep court storming. Jay Billis getting flamed on Twitter.
Dude, he got eviscerated. Well, Billis's idea was, all right, so here's how you basically, if you allow people to storm the court and that's against the rules or the law or however you frame it, then everybody that steps onto the court, you are now detained. You cannot leave the court until you are either ticketed or arrested or whatever the penance is for storming the court. That was Jay Billis's idea. He got cooked. Man got cooked on social media for that one.
I just don't want something bad to happen when that storming the court stuff. But we already talked about that. But it's fun though. This college season is going to be fun just to watch. The women's and the men's, both sides are going to be awesome. Can't wait for March Madness to start.
Do you guys think that it matters what team Caitlyn Clark would go to if they want to put the WNBA on the map and put all their chips again on Caitlyn Clark? Do you think it matters what team she goes to? If she goes, to the middle of nowhere, that knocks her ability to be the star, right?
Not really, because I think the number one pick this year is the Indiana Fever.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll end up going to Indiana, Indiana is a smaller market, to where I think that kind of leads to the spotlight. Now, obviously, if she was going to a bigger market, bigger name going to a bigger market, you would say, okay, cool. But I think with her going to a smaller market, it brings a lot of eyes to that market. That's like when LeBron got drafted to the Cavs. What am I thinking about the Cavs? But when LeBron got drafted, all eyes were on Cleveland. So to some degree, you're getting the all-time leading scorer in college basketball history. You're coming to Indiana, which is not a big market. They're looking to boost their revenue. They're looking to put more eyes on their franchise. So I think in a way it benefits them.
I think a larger market in this case would be better. I think if she went to but here's the problem: what is a large market in the WNBA?
I think it's the cities.
I think you just have to go by media market, right?
Yeah. I think for me in Indiana,
doesn't New York deserve a star? Doesn't New York deserve something to hang their hat on? Something.
But New York is always, they got a plethora of really good girls up there. They still the number one team in the WNBA, outside of Vegas. But I think, for me, she has to go to a larger market. She's going to get, and even though she has a big and huge name, I'll be like right now, I will look, I'm going to Indiana. Nah, I'm staying one more year because she needs that. Not just for her, but for the WNBA, because you might descend on Indiana and after a while, Indiana can't handle it. It's gonna fizzle out. She needs a bigger market where you can put the spotlight on it. Unless Indiana, because think about it, when you go to a team that sucks, yeah, you're gonna score a lot of points. But she scores a lot of points because the team sucks. But if you go to a team that's good and score a lot of points, oh, she's the shit. It's a big difference.
Well, too, there's not a huge spotlight on the WNBA anyway.
Correct.
So you want her under the brightest possible lights to shine a better light on the league. Indiana's fine. Yes, it will bring attention to Indiana. But if she's in New York or L.A. or, wherever, I feel like that light would shine a little bit brighter. And the WNBA needs that. Like the league itself, I feel like needs that. Rob, any speculation on Darvin Ham's future? And the only reason I ask this, month of March, Lakers have a little bit of a gauntlet ahead of them. I think they play a total of 2 teams that aren't currently in the playoffs or the play-in. So I think a lot of people are just going, if Darvin's going to have a future here, and it's been up and down this year with him, but as a guy that's close to it, if he's going to have a future, it's really going to shake out in how March goes for him. Is that kind of a bullshit speculation, or do you think there's value to that?
I think it's bullshit. People always have to have something to talk about. It's like, and sometimes when you look around, you say, oh, I'm blaming the coach. You can't really blame the coach. You got to blame the players sometime, too. The players have to step up. Because if Darvin Ham out there having you have like 20 turnovers last night, and luckily you came out and you won the game, no, I didn't tell you to throw that dumbass pass. I'm telling you not to throw that dumbass pass. And sometimes we look at like, what do you want me to do? And I don't care who comes to this team, whoever coaches this team, they're going to still have stupid turnovers. They're not going to be tough. That's what makes the Denver Nuggets beat the Lakers. They beat them up, not just physically, but mentally. They're tougher than the Lakers.
I don't
the
give
Lakers
a shit.
have to get.
Mike
the
Malone
Lakers
doesn't
have to
give a
get
shit.
tough.
Yeah,
they have to get tough, and then not take every possession as an All-Star game possession and value the basketball. And that has nothing to do with Darvin Ham. That has to do with the players.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's out there. That's out there. So I figured get a Lakers take on it. That way we can go. Robert Horry said, and then I can push that out. The more I'm watching of the Thunder, the more I'm starting to kind of lean into the Shea MVP conversation. I know we talked about this a few weeks ago, but I'm like, goodness. Only 3 players in NBA history have achieved 30-plus points per game, 5-plus assists per game, 5-plus rebounds per game, and 2 steals per game on 50% shooting. Shea this season, Steph Curry in 2016, and then, of course, freaking Michael Jordan did it like 5 times. But when you're in the company of those people, and it is a kind of a skewed statistic because it's very specific, but when you find yourself in that kind of company, it's hard to ignore his name coming up as much as it has in the MVP conversation.
Yeah. For me, I think he's playing extremely well, but he's not my MVP. I'm going with Jason Tatum. They got the best record in basketball. And then to follow that up is Jokic. And I think sometimes we don't give credit where credit is due. You got Boston with the best record in basketball. You know, nobody ever thought they were, be doing that, on a consistent basis. He's been doing that.
Golden State by like 59 points or some shit the other night.
Yeah, they won the last 3 games by 50-plus points.
Oh.
And for me, I'm like, the way he is playing and nobody's talking about it, I think it's a disgrace. I know Jokic is having a hell of a season again, but I think Tatum, I would take Tatum before I take Shea as my MVP.
Okay. Clayton, what you think?
It feels like it should be Tatum. Like, I was looking at it too the other day, and it's like, it should be Tatum. Like, everything says best record. They've been competing for years. He's got the numbers. He's got the game. He's had the moments in the playoffs. Like, it should be him. And yet I'm still just kind of like, does it though? Like, I don't know what it is about Jason Tatum. Maybe it's just because he's just such a mellow dude, but like,
yeah,
I don't know. Just like him, it still feels to me like there's Jokic, there's Giannis, and then like there's everybody else. Like Tatum, Luka, Embiid is kind of the in-between guy. But it should be Tatum. I mean, as far as a regular season MVP award, yeah, Boston's kicking everybody's ass, and not like a little bit. Like,
yeah.
They're going out stomping teams. And that's the funny thing, too, about, like, it feels like nobody's having they're the clear-cut MVP, the way it just makes everything easy. So you do just kind of have to pick nits. And, talking about SGA and Jason Tatum, it's like, okay, you gotta throw the dude who's been competing. He went to the final. Like, you gotta throw the dog, a bone.
Yeah.
Out of all the names, and all of those guys are MVP candidates, and I think if anybody may win it may end up being Jason Tatum, especially if, with them having the best record in the league and the way they've been playing. Like I said, the dark horse for me, and I just don't like that his name is being left out, is Ant-Man. I know he's very young. I know he's 22, but no, they were the number 1 seed in the West for a little bit before obviously the Thunder overtook them. But nobody at the beginning of the season would have sat here and told you that the Timberwolves would have been anywhere near the top of the West, let alone the number 1 seed. And the way that they've been playing all season, are they the number 1 seed now? No, but the fact that they're here.
They moved back in at number 1 with the OKC loss last night. So
that's what I'm saying. So they've been going back and forth. Yeah. And that is all because of we'll give Rudy Gobert and obviously Karl-Anthony Towns their credit and give them their just due. But a lot of that team where they are is the evolution of Anthony Edwards. And he is really taking the next step at such a young age. Wait till he's 25.
Yeah.
Just wait. Everybody wants to start talking about faces of the league and having these conversations. Just wait. Mm-hmm. Just wait.
Yeah,
okay.
And I feel like to the Tatum of it all is just because he's got other pieces on that team that shine so bright around him. And
Tatum is a dog.
A lot of that has to do with how he plays and how he distributes the basketball and the kind of player he is, for sure. But I feel like that a lot of times the spotlight comes off of him for that reason.
And their bigger issue over there with Boston, obviously I know this is an individual award we're talking about, but them being able to get over the hump, because
it's time.
I know Tatum is still very young. Obviously, Jaylen Brown is still very young.
But you've been there.
But you just paid Brown, and you got to pay Tatum this offseason. So you're talking about money being allocated, a ton of money allocated only between 2 dudes. So now you got to try to fill out a team moving forward. Your window is closing because you ain't got a whole bunch of money you can just be dumping out to everybody. That team ain't always gonna look the same because other guys are eventually gonna want to get paid. So you got to win while you can.
Yeah, we'll see. By the way, we didn't mention this earlier in the show, but does your wife have a Google alert set up on you or something? How did she find that damn video that Clayton put out that fast? Because I do, by the way.
I want to know the same. I want to know too.
I do have a Google alert set up on you. So
I would have to ask her. I don't know.
She finds stuff faster than me, and literally my job is to prep a show every week for you. So I'm like
when she's having a morning coffee, I think sometimes if something's going on, she'll just Google and. I don't know how. I have to ask her.
She's hacked the algorithm. I need her method. I need to know what happened here. Here's why. In my Google alerts this week, I'm getting Robert Horry headlines all of a sudden, and I'm like, what is this about? You were on Games with Names. I don't know what that podcast is, but it's a podcast. talking about being hammered before the 95 Rockets parade. Something we've talked about on this show, the fact that you were late to that parade and they held up the parade because you didn't go there. Here's why it made headlines. I woke up in some girl's apartment. It was my buddy's girlfriend, and I'm on the floor under a tree, I think. I look at my watch. It's 11 o'clock. The parade starts at 11 o'clock. So I have to go home, shower, and explain to my fiance what happened, and she's looking at me cross-eyed. Was this Candace?
No, that was Kiva, my first wife.
Okay. All right.
But this was 95, man.
I know, but like all of a sudden, we talked about that. You've told that story like 5 times on this show. And that's making headlines out of nowhere.
Yeah, because I did it, and everybody. And it's funny, Candace was sitting there reading the comments. I'm like, this is some bullshit. Like, everybody knew that wasn't no. I'm like, yes, it was. My buddy Curtis is his girlfriend. We stopped by the apartment because it was on the way home. But
it was the headline saying you woke up in your buddy's girlfriend's apartment.
He was there. That's the thing.
That's what made it sensationalized.
I know.
Here we go.
I'm like, my buddy was in there. Like, he was in the bed. I left his ass there with her. And I left. So, so people basically would say, this is how your buddies are, though. When you got your friend there driving. He was a DD that night. He was driving. And he wanted to stop by and see his girlfriend. And I'm like, I'm not sitting in the car. I was like, we came inside. We were supposed to be in there for a second. Think about it. I had about 50 drinks.
And that was it.
So I took a nap and I woke up under a little palm, a fake palm.
A little fake palm tree. Okay.
So everybody, it's funny how people will take a story and add shit to it. Like, just because I don't give you every detail, and that's what my wife gets mad at me a lot because I go ACF. I skip a lot of shit in the middle sometimes just to get to the end of the story. I'm like,
yeah, but the demon is in the details. And that's where she wants to live. You know that, right? That's
exactly.
That's where she wants to go.
And people were like, yeah, likely story. He probably slept with his friend's girlfriend. I'm like, he was in there. I had to knock on the door like, yo, man, I'm out. And he's like, oh, shit, man.
Yeah, but the fact that you skipped over the whole thing is what makes it suspect. You know what I mean? You got right to the end where you woke up on a floor.
Clickbait.
I know.
You leave out parts to get clickbait.
I know. I guess so.
Fact.
We're all learning things.
It was Edelman's podcast.
Wait till you see the way I carve up this week's show. Holy shit. We're going to get so much clickbait off this thing. Oh, it's going to be great. All right, Clayton, we do something every week called the Big Shot of the Week. I find a cool, inspiring, uplifting story that hopefully trumps all of our bullshit talking that we've done for the last 40-plus minutes that makes us feel a little bit better about ourselves. Big Shot of the Week is going to go to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office in Tampa, Florida. I don't know if you've seen this viral video. It is all over the place. They used their aerial thermal imaging camera to find a 5-year-old autistic girl who had wandered off into a swamp. So she was with her family. There was this deep, and not ugly swamps. Like, Florida is like just swampland everywhere. But she had wandered off into a swamp, and they immediately threw the bird up in the air and turned on all the thermal imaging, and they found her in under an hour. Perfectly fine, safe and sound, returned to her family because they jumped on it quick. But the videos everywhere of the thermal imaging of them shooting the swamp and trying to kind of like figure out what's wildlife and what might be her, and they got her in under an hour.
Wow.
That is wild because being as much time as I've spent in Florida, people go into swamps and they don't come out. So, Big Shot of the Week to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's.
That's dope.
That's very dope. I love the fact that they acted immediately. Sometimes like, well, they haven't been missing for 5 hours. They haven't been missing for this. Just do it. Just do it. You using our taxpayer dollars. Just do it and find my child, my mom, my dad, whoever it may be that's missing. So big ups to them, like you say.
All right. Well, now that we made ourselves feel good, let's do something stupid. All right. I give you a batshit crazy story. Your job is just to tell me, did it happen at a Walmart or did it happen at a Waffle House? Everybody's cracking their fingers. They think they're hot shit going into this one, so we'll see how we do. All right, story number 1. Birds of a feather, let's say. This location went through a panic as a large bird got into the store and began defecating everywhere. Employees and customers alike were panicked and had to evacuate the store. It was closed for 30 minutes. To catch and remove the bird, and another 2 hours to clean it. So, giant wild bird crapping on everything inside of a Walmart or inside of a Waffle House?
Walmart.
Easy Walmart. Waffle House doesn't take 2 hours to clean.
You can probably
spend 2 hours cleaning the Waffle
store
House
in about 12 minutes, and in a Waffle House.
This is a Waffle House.
You're saying Waffle House?
I'm saying Waffle House.
Okay, everybody else was going Walmart. Robert Ory, A rare miss from the corner. No, yeah, that was inside of Walmart.
Bro,
Yeah.
think about
Inside
this. Employees and customers alike panicked and evacuated the store. It was closed for 30 minutes to catch and remove the bird. Waffle Houses ain't that big where it's going to take the 30 minutes.
Oh, I don't know. I've seen them take.
And
I've seen them take 30 minutes to get a drunk out of a Waffle House.
That's fine.
Exactly.
And he don't fly.
But in a Walmart, it's really taking you longer than that to find the bird. There's so many areas in which it can go.
Good point. Listen to the clues.
You're in that
John.
Waffle House. You're grabbing that. Yeah, that's a 10-minute situation tops, and they won't clean after.
No, they won't. They didn't stop cooking when it was happening. They just kept
Yeah,
rolling,
right.
baby. All right, story number 2.
Put them on the grill. Fire them up.
Yeah, fire 'em up.
Yeah.
Chicken wings. All right, here we go. Story number 2. Everyone loves to smile, but not at this location, as an elderly man spent his time tickling female employees until he was asked to leave by local sheriff's deputies. Did the old man tickling the employees happen at a Walmart or a Waffle House?
That sounds like something I'm going to do when I get older.
All right, so dude, of all the headlines I need to see on you, I don't need to see Robert Ory got kicked out of a Walmart or a Waffle House for tickling the employees.
I'm going to be the greeter at Walmart. You come through Walmart. I'm that greeter. You not smiling. Come here, little girl. Let me tickle.
Just give him a.
Oh, God, no, don't,
Hey,
don't.
that sounds
Walmart.
wow.
Yeah,
that sounds wow.
There's my clickbait headline for this
Yeah, there it
show.
is.
Robert Ory tickles little girls.
That
and,
sounds crazy.
Holy cow.
Ooh,
All right.
Lord.
No, but I'm going with Walmart because they have the elders that greet you when you come to Walmart. So I'm going with Walmart.
All right.
Who'd you say, Clayton?
I was going Waffle House. That just seems like something that happens at 2:00 in the morning.
It's true.
Yeah, I bet.
All right, B-Dog.
Sheesh. I'm gonna go Walmart again.
Okay.
I think I'm wrong though.
The points go to Harper and Rob. It happened inside of Walmart. Yeah.
wow.
It happened in a Walmart. Old man get handsy inside of a Walmart.
Yeah, because that's what it
Rob,
Greeter.
Rob was on a wavelength with that guy. He saw exactly what's going on there.
Rob's modeling his future after this.
Yeah,
man.
he's like, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you?
Guess what I'm doing when I get my NBA pension? There we go. All right, story.
After I spent up my pension.
Yeah.
Yeah, get this man into a home quickly. All right, story number 3. Here's a pro tip. If you're out to eat with your mistress, have an escape plan, which this man did not. Because when his wife showed up, he opted to try to lock his mistress in the women's restroom against her will. She obviously got out very quickly, and a huge fight ensued until police arrived to break it up.
Waffle House.
Waffle House.
Gotta be Waffle House.
Everybody's going Waffle House, and everyone gets a point. Yeah,
that's some Waffle House
absolutely a
type
Waffle
stuff,
House. That is-
yeah.
Well,
You can
say-
hide in a Walmart. You can't hide in a
you
Waffle House.
eat.
Yeah, there's places to go, you know. Yeah.
It clearly says they're eating.
That too?
Oh yeah, well that's true too.
I was going to bring that up.
You're out
The layup.
Look, I copy and paste the stories. I don't do a very good job editing. Maybe one day I'll have a producer that helps me. Hey, now, what? Oh, sorry. That was shots fired at everybody. All right, here we go. Story number 4. But don't bring him into this. We've clearly gone too far in this country with service animals. Specifically, a man who demanded his service animal, a small capuchin monkey, be allowed into this location. It was cute at first until it started to defecate and throw its poop at customers and employees alike, while the man laughed as he did it. So, my service animal's a monkey. He took a dump and threw poop at you inside of a Walmart or a Waffle House.
This is the toughest one so far, I think.
Yeah.
This is tough because I can see somebody. I mean, I guess if I knew it's in Florida, I bet you $1,000 it's happening.
Service
in Florida.
monkey, yeah. Service monkey feels very Florida. Yeah.
My brother went to school in Daytona Beach, and he has a lot of stories about tiny monkeys. But I'm going Waffle House. I think I don't know. I got a gut feeling. Walmart. I'm going Walmart.
Going Walmart. Okay. Robert Ory.
I'm rolling with Walmart too.
Going Walmart. B-Dog.
Waffle House.
Waffle House. The points go to
He said points.
Yeah. There you go.
Yes, at the end of it.
Rob and Clayton. Yeah. Everybody's on my syntax today. Jesus Christ.
We got to win, man. We're here for points.
I'm telling
Hey,
you,
but
man.
it seems like the place to take a shit is the Walmart.
Well, I'm sure the bathrooms are cleaner. I mean,
Where the bird take a shit, now the monkey taking a shit.
And then I guess if you got to take one, I mean, look, if you're going to be Anthony Edwards and miss the tip, do it inside of Walmart, man. Waffle House bathroom is not anywhere you want to be.
It's
just
too
not.
fucking small.
Yeah, well, for you, every bathroom is small, but you know, for us, it's just filthy. All right, story number 5. It's no strange sight to see a drunk man passed out at either a Walmart or a Waffle House. But when this drunk man was removed, he started to scream and yell at employees, who inadvertently had left his prosthetic leg behind. Well, the reason he demanded it returned to him immediately is because when they brought it out, it had $8,000 in cash hidden inside it. So, drunk man passes out with $8,000 hidden in his prosthetic leg at a Walmart or a Waffle House.
They just let you sleep in a Waffle House. I'm going to Walmart.
Yeah, I think the exact same. You're bringing $8,000 to a Walmart. You're not bringing $8,000 to a Waffle House.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with them.
Wow. And everyone is wrong. Happened at a Waffle House. Happened at a Waffle House. I mean, you're going to leave your prosthetic leg behind, I guess. It's going to happen.
That's a bad Yelp review. They took my leg and took my $8,000.
My
They woke me up.
And my prosthetic
They woke me
leg.
up.
And I was sleeping.
Yeah.
Come on now. All right, story number 6. It's always at the quietest times that the most awkward things are said. Overheard by customers and employees at this location was a man saying, quote, "Man, I almost married my sister. Thank God we figured it out before that happened." That's all I got for you. Was that overheard in a Walmart or a Waffle House?
I think that's a Waffle House.
Both of them.
Yeah.
That's probably happened to
It's
both of them.
either one. No, I'm kidding. What do you guys think? A Walmart or a Waffle House? Would you say B?
Would I say Waffle House?
You say Waffle House. Robert Ory.
Waffle House.
Clayton.
I'm going Waffle House, too. I'm sticking
Everybody's
with them.
going Waffle House. Everyone gets a point. That's very Waffle House. Yeah, that's very Waffle House.
Yeah.
Too big to overhear that
Was
stuff
that
from
in
Walmart.
Was that in Mississippi or Alabama?
Let's say both. Let's say both. All right, story number 7. I love it when kids are at the center of these stories. Probably not so much, though, when it's a 7-year-old with a foul mouth. This boy made a scene by cursing loudly at his mother, repeatedly. When asked by employees if he was okay, he simply responded, quote, "Bitch, stay out of this or I'll fuck you up next." He is 7, and he is my son. No, I'm kidding. This boy and his mother were asked to leave a Walmart or a Waffle House.
I think that's a Walmart.
Harp, that's where you at?
What? Yeah. Look, nah, that wasn't me. That would trust me. That wasn't me.
That's a Walmart. That's a Walmart.
Yeah, it's got to be Walmart. I'm pretty sure I've seen something like that happen before.
It's a point to all of you. That's a Walmart. Yeah, very good. Nice
Now,
job. Yeah.
is this a black crime or a white crime?
Well, that's another game. That's a different game. It's a different game. And that's 100% a white crime. Ain't no little black kid mouthing off to his mom like that. Come on now. You know that. That's some white privilege shit right there. That's what that is. You know that. Bitch, I'll fuck you up
You can
next.
talk to you can be a whole lot of slow singing and flower bringing.
All right, story number 8. We got 2 to go here. Another animal story. Love animal stories. This time a guy brought a snake in around his neck. As you can imagine, he was asked to leave, but before he hit the door, the snake got loose. And it took the man about 25 minutes to find it, as employees and customers ran frightened. Did he get the snake loose and lose it inside of a Walmart or a Waffle House?
Walmart. Because you already said Waffle House is too small.
And my thing is,
Snakes are tricky, though, man.
before he hit the door, what kind of fast snake is this? Like,
I have a feeling he let it loose on purpose because he was asked to leave. This is my estimation, doing this game for the last, 7 years.
I'm going to say Walmart.
I'm going Walmart. It seems like the last couple animal stories have been Walmart.
Rob, what'd you say? Walmart?
Walmart.
That's a point for everybody. I'm straight. Yeah, that's a Walmart all day. Again, why you bring a snake to Walmart?
Why are people bringing animals to Walmart, not Waffle House?
I don't. Well, Why are you bringing an animal anywhere? What the hell are you doing?
Emotional support.
Yeah, okay. My ass.
I saw a dude with a raccoon on a leash in a Walmart one time, now that I think about it.
Oh, all right. Well, that'll be a story on the next version of this.
Man.
Where did Clayton see a man on a raccoon on a leash?
Raccoon on a leash.
But here's the crazy part. People are starting to make raccoons pets.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
That's like
Why
the
are we
trend
doing
now.
this? Why
They
are
get
we
them to
doing
bring
this?
stuff because the raccoons run on like their back legs. They're bringing stuff in their hands. I'm just like, ugh, get that out of there.
No, yeah, I don't. Whatever you brought me, no, it needs to be sanitized
right.
and flushed. Whatever it is.
No.
Look, we can't be that bored of regular pets that we've just turned to raccoons now. By the way, my favorite video of all time are the 2 raccoons on the back porch. They got caught. The guy flipped all the lights on, and they both just froze. Like they were like, "Don't move, Charlie. He'll never see us." That's just fantastic. Fantastic.
I'll let you know how smart raccoons are.
Oh yeah, they just were like. All right, last story, Walmart or Waffle House. A very loud baby was crying for a very extended period of time at this location, so much so that employees stepped in and asked if everything was okay, and he said, "She's fine, she just needs a little bourbon." At which point, he broke out a bottle of bourbon and tried to give it to the baby. Employees intervened, cops were called. Nonsense ensued. Man tried to give his little baby some bourbon at a Walmart or a Waffle House.
Waffle House. Waffle House seems like that's a place where you'll sneak the bourbon in while you having some breakfast.
Okay.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more with B. You got to you're bringing bourbon to a Waffle House and giving it to a baby in a Waffle House.
Giving it to a baby. That's right. The key part. Yeah.
That's the important part of the story.
He was in Walmart to get more bourbon because the baby was out of bourbon, so it's Walmart.
Rob's saying Walmart. Okay. Clearly, Rob has never partied with Kid Rock because that was a Waffle House, baby. That was inside of a Waffle House. So
he trying to put that baby night. He's
trying to have his hash browns smothered, covered, and chopped.
Half in the bag. Yeah. All right. Well, that's all she wrote. Clayton, dude, thank you for hanging out, man. That was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. It was awesome.
Yes,
A real pleasure to be here.
Yeah,
Hey,
thanks again.
Clayton, when I come to that side of the world, man, I'm gonna look you up. Don't ignore me like you did for the last 2 weeks, man.
I'll have my eyes open, man. Yeah, of course. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. I'm glad I got to do it. I'm glad I got to do it. I'm glad you got to see it. I really enjoyed
awesome,
it. And
I even sent it to my people in the NBA, and I told them to say, hey, this guy right here, if y'all need something, y'all need to look him up. So hopefully that'll turn into something too. So, because you did a really good job, man.
Appreciate you, man.
You got him lobbying for you. See, look at that. Now you can't ignore him.
Yeah, no.
Did Clayton ignore Rob at a Walmart or at a Waffle House?
Yeah, I'm going to be in a Waffle House someday just like, oh, my God, Robert Horry just got me a job.